Alright, here we go. Another quick how-to video. In a lot of my recent videos, I've been having quite a bit of success with the 3-inch ripper swim baits on the Nova Stone Double Dazzle glitter paint jig heads. Now, they aren't actually jig heads that you buy or you can get with the Nova Stone on them. We actually have to take blank jig heads, heat those up, dip them in the paint or powder paint. That makes the color on the jig head. So I'm going to show you the quick process I use for putting the chrome blue, the orange silver, and this new chameleon paint sunburst onto these jig heads. Now first what we need to do, or just so you're aware, all you need is either a heat gun or a blowtorch, propane blowtorch, jig heads, the powder paint, and the seal coat. I use the CS coating seal coat. This is the just regular seal coat. This is with the UV blast. So I'm gonna show you how I finish these jig heads with those. But before we get started on actually getting the powder paint onto the jig heads, what I do first is I take a piece of tape and I kind of wrap it around the bottom part where the swim bait slides onto the jig head. The reason why I'm not going to explain in this video. I'll do another video for it, but just know that that's coming. So again, first I'm going to wrap all these jig heads, wrap that neck with tape because I don't want this powder paint to go onto this neck. And again, that'll be another video that'll show as to why that is. For now, we'll get these all taped up. Cool. These are all taped up now and ready to rock and roll. So what I'm going to do, first I'm going to do one with the heat gun. Then I'm going to do a second one, or maybe the third one with the propane. With the heat gun, it doesn't get hot enough to melt the lead. Lead melts at, I think it's 642 or 624 degrees Fahrenheit. So this heat gun will not get that hot. The blowtorch, of course, it will. But I most of the time use a blowtorch because it's faster. I can go through a lot more. The heat gun takes a little bit longer to heat the lead, get it hot enough to put into these glitter, or yes, the glitter paint. Both of these are glitter. This is what they call chameleon paint. So we're gonna use the heat gun first, and we're gonna do this orange silver one. When you get these from Barlow's, they do settle, so I like to kind of tap them on here, get that powder loosened up. Open it up. So you got a bunch of sparkle in there. All that is the glitter. You got the powder in there. Perfect. So when I do the heat gun, I use the hottest setting. So as you see here, we got a low setting, hot setting, and off. So I'm going to go ahead and heat these with the hotter setting. This will take a little while to heat up. And again, another reason why I use the blowtorch, because it heats it up a lot quicker. And again, the heat gun isn't hot enough to melt the lead. It just gets it hot enough to get the powder to stick to it. Alright, that should be good. Then you just take it and swirl it in there, tap off the extra, and there you have it. And again, one thing that you always want to make sure that you do is take a little wire or mini screwdriver or something and go through the eye of that jig head, get that excess powder paint out of that hole where you're going to put either tie your line or put a clip on. Cool. Alright, so you see that? Excellent. Turned out great. Now I'm going to go ahead and, you're not going to see this in the video, but I'm going to hang this right now away so that can kind of cool down. And we're gonna do something after. You actually, in order to, what they suggest for curing these jig heads completely is to cure at 350 for 15 to 20 minutes for maximum durability. So again, I'll go ahead and hang those out, and as soon as these 3 are done, we'll get the get the mini oven ready. All right, so that was the orange silver. Now we can do the chrome blue. This is the one that I've had the most success with in the surf. There you go, silver, blue. All right, now we'll do this one with the propane, or with the torch. So we'll watch how much faster this is. This heat will melt the lead. It does get hotter than the melting point of lead, so you don't want to hold it in one spot for too long. Okay, that's good. And we'll go ahead and get that, swirl it. Done. Take your little wire. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that torch off real quick though. Take the wire, put it through the eye, get whatever excess powder paint might be in the eye out. And there you go. That one's all set. And I'll go ahead and hang that one away. Go ahead and close that chrome blue up. Cool. And I guess I'll use a heat gun, why not? Now we'll do this new color that I got, this chameleon paint sunburst. Let's see what's in here. See what it looks like. Alright, so it looks like it has some yellow sparkle and mostly like an orange. This is gonna be really cool, I think. Alright, let's go ahead and take the heat gun, put it on setting 2. Go ahead and heat this thing up. I can feel the heat going into the hook, into my finger, so I know it's hot enough. So go ahead and put that down and swirl away. Let's see what this thing looks like. Woo-wee! That's pretty. Oh, and actually, I don't even need to poke out the eye. Didn't even stay in it. Excellent. Dang, that's pretty. So, sold me. But again, doesn't matter how pretty I think it is. If the fish don't bite it, I'm not going to use it. So I'll give this a good test in the harbor and in the surf, and hopefully we catch something. I think we will. I think it's going to work. All these colors work pretty well. It's mostly the action on the swim bait that I think matters the most. The color just adds to it. But yeah. Alright, so I'll hang that away. Get one of these hangers, hang that away. That was smart. Drop it. Alright, good job. Alright. So we'll let those dry, and then we'll come back and put the seal coat on them. Alright, here we go. So we're going to put on this CS Coating Seal Coat Lure and Jig Finish. This one is the non-UV blast. This one is the UV blast. Now again, I've read many, a few different things that, and all have the one thing in common is that any finish when fishing for lures, any finish that has a UV blast on it tends to get more interest, possibly more bites in fish than not having UV blast. So I'm going to go ahead and put UV blast on the chrome blue, and let's do the orange silver, or the this orange silver, and then we'll do the non-UV blast on this chameleon sunburst color. Now the thing with UV blast, what I've also read is that it works best when it is lower visibility. So either first in the morning, going to dusk in the evening, or murky or cloudy water, dirty water, overcast skies, whatever. It works least best, or can be too much attention when it's sunny, clear water, visibility is really far. That's when you want to actually use just the regular without the UV blast. So I have, in my tackle box, I have these colors like the chrome blue, I have chrome red, and some others that have both the non and the UV blast on it, and I'm testing them back and forth. Haven't had enough experience with it yet. Haven't been able to have enough fish or test enough conditions to see whether one way works more than the other. So that's still a work in progress. But again, it's available with the UV blast, without the UV blast. So first, let's go ahead and do this chameleon paint with the non-UV blast. Directions on here again. It is stir well before using. Surface to be painted must be clean and free of oil, wax, or moisture. It is water-based, so you can clean it up, anything with water. So we'll go ahead and mix that. I just use a screwdriver or whatever. Use stir stick, whatever you want. Alright. Also, this doesn't come with the CS coatings, seal coat, so it doesn't come with fantastic directions. It just says apply and let dry, of course. Through a lot of forums and my own experience, what I have found is that the application can either be painted on, it can be dipped, it can, when you're doing other lures, you can mix it like 1 to 10, so 1 part UV, or I'm sorry, 1 part seal coat with 10 parts water, and you could use those small spray guns and spray it on. So I personally, I don't want to do 10 different coats or 3 different coats, whatever. So all I do is I take tape off first, and then I'll dip it once, let it drip off, let it drip dry, make sure I get the excess off, hang it for a little bit. The extra is going to bead up on the bottom. The excess amount is just, when you're hanging it, it's just going to bead on the bottom, and then you'll wipe that. So let's give it a go. So I've already mixed it. Now I'm just going to take it and dip it in. I'm going to, again, let it drip dry for a little bit, flick it a little bit, get that drop to come off. Now as you can see, there's that little bit at the bottom that's coming off right there. That's just going to keep going. So I just take the tip, put it up against the jar, get some of the excess out. Then I'll take a little, again, the wire, go through the eye, get that coating out of there. You could also put it, blow out of the eye, but just make sure that that coating is out of there. Okay, I'm gonna hang it up now. So I'll just stick it onto this hook, let it hang dry for a little bit. We'll come back to it in just here a second and get some more of that off of it. Now let's go ahead and do the UV blast. Go ahead and mix this. One thing to note when comparing this UV blast versus the non-UV blast is there is a difference in color. So if you look closely, this is more milky white. This is almost more translucent. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but yeah. All right, actually we're gonna take this one. You could see it beading up a little bit on the bottom, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get some of that off, hang it back up. All right, so let's go ahead and get the tape off these. Cool. And as I mentioned, there is tape on these. I put tape on these, and I'll show you in another video, subsequent video on why I tape those. But for now, we'll just continue with this process. All right, so same thing as with the non-UV blast. We're going to go ahead and just dip it in, pull it out, let that drip dry for a little bit. Okay, go ahead and get a little bit of the excess off there. Give it a little help, then we go ahead and hang it. Oops, almost forgot. Gotta get it out of the eye. Right, there we go. That's all out. Cool deal. All right, that one's hanging. Let's go ahead and do this orange silver one now. Again, just a quick dip, done. And again, the reason why I do dip is I just don't want to spend the time to have to, put 3 or 4 thin coats on it with the paintbrush. I'd rather just do this and get it over with. I just blew some air through the eye to get that out of there instead of using the wire, but might as well just use the wire too. All right, now we'll go ahead and hang that one up again. Okay, go back to this chrome blue one that we just did and get the excess off of that one. Okay, now that we've got most of the excess off, since this does cure, both of these cure with oven. So the glitter paint cure at 350 for 15-20 minutes. I do that in oven. This also, I read on forums, this also does the cures in the oven. They recommend the same thing, 350 for 15-20 minutes. So I figured if that's the case, if it cures in the oven and cures with heat, and to get this to stop dripping or to kind of kick it into gear, you could use the heat gun, which I've done actually with the blowtorch. We're going to try with the heat gun now, but I'll use the heat gun just to do a quick cure on it, right? Just a quick cure on it. That's it. All right, so these are all hanging now. These are all kind of slow drying. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the oven up here on the counter and show you what I do there. Oh, before we do that, one thing to remember or to note is after you're done with these, I always wipe the edges down, because you can see when this stuff dries, it can flake, and I don't want that going into the actual jar itself, because I don't want that going on to any of the lures. So just make sure that it's not on the inside. See, there's nothing. Oh, there is a little bit on the inside. Don't want that. All right, that looks good. But yeah, try to keep as much of this flaking stuff out of there so you don't get it on the actual lures or jig heads. All right, back in a minute with the oven. All right, so here's my little worktop oven. Really small, probably, I don't know, like 16, 18 inches wide, probably 10, 12 inches deep. But really a lot of different settings, but all I use it for is, again, for getting it up to 350 or whatever for these lure or these jig heads or little micro jigs or whatever. So I'll move it down to bake. You want it to do 15-20 minutes. It's going to take some time to preheat, and I don't want to wait on them, so I'll just set the time to 20 minutes. Actually, I'll do 25 minutes. Leave it at 25 minutes. Start it. It's preheating now, but I also want to start the timer so it doesn't cook it too long. So I'll start that. There that goes. So it's preheating now. Go ahead and take this middle rack out. I'm gonna go ahead. Actually, I guess I'll leave the rack in just so you can see it a little easier. So now I'll go ahead and take, this is the chameleon one. I'm just gonna hang it. This is the chrome blue and silver orange. So go ahead and let those cook for 15-20 minutes. Well, by the time the timer's done, it's gonna be done. So we'll be back when these are ready to take out. See ya. All right, clock strikes 0. Take a look at these. Again, they just got done, so don't want to handle it with my bare fingers. So grab a pair of pliers and pull these out. Look at that. Just perfect. Alright, last one. Beautiful orange, the orange and silver. Alright, I went ahead and just moved the microwave out of here. We don't need that anymore, the oven rather. But there you have it. Solid as a rock. Beautiful. Again, this one doesn't have, this is the Sunburst Nova Stone Chameleon paint. Sunburst with the regular CS coating seal coat, no UV blast. This is the chrome blue, orange silver on the Double Dazzle, Nova Stone Double Dazzle with the UV blast. Now, one thing I forgot to do, all the ones with the UV blast, before I even put, usually before I put the seal coat on, I just add like a little V right there. So when I'm going through the tackle box, I know which ones have the UV blast on them and which ones don't, so I can test them effectively. But yeah, there you go. Easy as that. Just a little bit of heat, the powder paints, the CS coating seal coat, and it's all done. Here's the ones that I've been using in the harbor for probably 3 or 4 sessions now. And you can see that I've hit docks, I've hit rocks, all kinds of stuff. And with the seal coat finish on them and whatnot, they don't chip. Nothing's coming off. They're still there. I think the hooks will be dull before, and have to change them up before the paint chips off, or it comes off, but or I'll lose it and get it stuck before I have to worry about the glitter paint. But yeah, they last, easy to apply, perfect. Hopefully you learned something. And this is again for putting the Nova Stone and the glitter powder paint onto jig heads. Go get some fish. Thanks for watching. You.